Just saying him and then he fighting somebody like Pacquiao, it give me hope.
It's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson.
I don't know what Pac-Man has left in the tank for me to say that this is going to be competitive. So I think Tank is probably going to wash him, just going off age. When it comes to age, speed, and reflexes.
Gervonta Davis has called on Manny Pacquiao to send the contract without delay, making it clear that he's ready to fight anytime, Tank says. Taking on Pacquiao is no problem, and he shows full confidence and determination to face the boxing legend with no doubts or hesitation.
Just saying him and then he fighting somebody like Pacquiao, it give me hope for sure. It doesn't matter who I fight. It doesn't matter. As long as I put on a great performance whoever I fight, it doesn't matter. I don't believe that.
Despite the immense challenges posed by the age gap, Manny Pacquiao has openly expressed genuine interest in facing Gervonta Davis. This statement highlights Pacquiao's legendary warrior spirit and his hunger to compete against the best available opponents, regardless of the risks. His willingness to take on Davis illustrates a mindset grounded in embracing formidable challenges rather than pursuing easier victories. Pacquiao clearly understands that Davis is among the most exciting fighters of this era, combining speed, power, and agility in a manner that tests even the most experienced opponents. Beyond the competition, the financial and commercial appeal of a bout with Davis is undeniable. The combination of skill and power makes this fight one that would draw enormous attention and revenue. Pacquiao's enthusiasm only fuels further speculation and fan excitement.
When it comes to age, speed, and reflexes are the first thing to go. Explosiveness are the first things to go. So, off youth and explosiveness alone, Tank should be able to beat the old man. But the fact that this is even up for debate is sad, man. Like I said, stop looking at Tank as a as a regular fighter. Look at him as an attraction. When he fights, expect to see the bitches come out. Expect your casual friends to hit you up, talking about parties.
The iconic image of Manny Pacquiao and Gervonta Davis exchanging a handshake at a press conference would embody mutual respect and professionalism. These moments in boxing carry deep significance. They serve as the calm before the storm projecting. Sportsmanship in stark contrast to the ferocity that follows inside the ring.
They keep talking about Gervonta Davis as a possible fight, man. You like that fight because he's little, like he's your size.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I like that, but you know, let's finish first this one because this one is a taller champion like that. So I have a lot of things to do in training.
Pacquiao's proposition to face Gervonta Davis at the 145 or 147-pound weight class is a strategic one. These divisions are well within the competitive range for both fighters, providing a realistic and fair setting for their potential bout. It aligns with both of their previous fighting weights, ensuring neither side is disproportionately advantaged. Shifting between weight classes is no simple task for any fighter. The process demands precise physical adjustments, often involving adding or losing muscle mass, while preserving peak performance levels. Fighters must find a delicate balance among strength, speed, and endurance, all of which are significantly impacted by changes in weight. It is a science and an art requiring discipline and careful conditioning.
Manny Pacquiao calls out Gervonta Davis to fight at 145 or 147, and to be honest, the only downfall that Manny Pacquiao will have going into this fight will be that he's old, and Gervonta Davis' downfall going into this fight is that he's less experienced and has never fought at 145 or 147.
Industry analyst Showbiz The Adult has highlighted the massive earning potential and hype a Gervonta Davis versus Manny Pacquiao fight would generate. According to his breakdown, this clash would not only ensure a substantial payday for all parties involved, but also create one of the biggest promotional spectacles in recent memory. The blend of Pacquiao's legendary legacy and Davis's current star power forms a unique marketing juggernaut. Beyond the dollars, the bout would reignite interest among fans and draw intense media focus.
It's not easy to moving up to a higher weight division. I know you're one who moved from lightweights to bigger weights, but that's still 3 divisions. Is there ever any possibility that you would go back in the ring and fight someone like a Tank Davis?
If he want, and if he come up to 147, then We can fight.
He can't meet you at 140?
Before officially announcing his comeback, Manny Pacquiao strategically mentioned several high-profile names, including Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and even MMA superstar Conor McGregor. This calculated move revealed his awareness of both the sporting challenge and the marketability such names bring to the table. Each name added gravity to his return and invited intrigue from both boxing and broader sports audiences.
I'm just going to rub it in. Pause. I remember saying when Tank couldn't get a fight in, I was saying Shakur shouldn't have signed that deal with Matchroom if he wanted to fight Tank. Lomachenko, I said he ducked. But then when he couldn't find a fight, I said, hey, fight Manny Pacquiao. The reason why I said fight Manny Pacquiao at 144 was, number one, you can get the sensationalism and the crazy hype shit of a Jake Paul fight, right? It got the money grab on it. On top of that, though, he can prepare for 140 by fighting Manny at 144, get a training camp in at heavier weight class. Then he could come down from 144 and fight Tio at 140. Everybody said that don't make sense, Biz. Tank fight Lamont Roach, take a knee, draw, grease in the eye.
Behind-the-scenes sources within the boxing community suggest that discussions regarding a potential Davis versus Pacquiao showdown are more than just rumors. Both camps appear cautiously optimistic about progressing in negotiations, though much hinges. On Pacquiao's upcoming performance against Mario Barrios, this fight could be the final litmus test before a deal with Davis is finalized.
So I'm not sure how true this is, but supposing Manny Pacquiao's coming out of retirement. And these are the three names that he's interested in fighting. And now, of these three names, which one do you think is the best matchup? Conor McGregor? That would just be a money grab. Everyone knows Manny Pacquiao's skill level is way above Conor's. Tank Davis? Nah. Manny Pacquiao would get knocked out by Tank Davis. I'm telling you right now, Tank would catch him, and Manny's going night-night. Now, Ryan Garcia is the fight that makes the most sense in my opinion. If you guys remember, this fight was heavily rumored at one time. And I think it might even been booked at one time, but it fell through at the last minute. And it makes the most sense to happen. Ryan Garcia is a big name currently in boxing. Style-wise, they match up perfectly. And it's a fight that could go either way. If Ryan Garcia wins, he adds a big name like Manny Pacquiao on his resume. And I know he's coming out of retirement, but still, that's Manny Pacquiao. And if Manny Pacquiao wins, he adds to his legacy and inserts himself right back in the title run. So again, these are just rumors, and I don't know if Manny Pacquiao's really out of retirement. But if he is, the fight that makes the most sense is Ryan Garcia.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has offered pointed criticism of the industry's growing emphasis on spectacle over competitive integrity. He argues that many modern fights are crafted for financial gain, not true sporting merit. His comments raise important questions about the direction professional boxing and combat sports in general are heading.
So basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank and Pac.
Okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve.
I'm just going to rub it in. Pause. I remember saying when Tank couldn't get a fight in, I was saying Shakur shouldn't have signed that deal with Matchroom if he wanted to fight Tank. Lomachenko, I said he ducked. But then when he couldn't find a fight, I said, hey, fight Manny Pacquiao. The reason why I said fight Manny Pacquiao at 144 was, number one, you can get the sensationalism and the crazy hype shit of a Jake Paul fight, right? It got the money grab on it. On top of that, though, he can prepare for 140 by fighting Manny at 144, get a training camp in at heavier weight class. Then he could come down from 144 and fight Tio at 140. Everybody said that don't make sense, Biz. Tank fight Lamont Roach.
Although Manny Pacquiao officially retired from professional boxing, he never fully left the sport. He remained closely connected through quiet exhibition matches and regular training, preserving his timing and sharpening his skills. This ongoing involvement kept him ready for a more serious return if the right opportunity arose. Pacquiao's legacy as one of boxing's greatest champions remains unchallenged. However, his decision to return to the ring has sparked significant debate within the boxing community. While some admire his relentless competitive spirit, others express concern that another fight could tarnish his pristine reputation or endanger his health.
You know, a lot of people say, well, he's been inactive, he's older. Man, but he throw punches. He has a lot of experience. And his last fight was an exhibition, which still was a fight and still kept him sharp, punching, doing something. So it ain't like he just ain't been in the ring, ain't did nothing. Yeah, he been working. It's like them underground boxing matches are real fights. And it keep you off bold. You know, Emmanuel Stewart used to do a lot of exhibitions for his guys, or his guys to get them sharp, to get them prepared for a fight. If they hadn't fought in a minute, just to have them fight sharp. What up, Keith? Yeah, just to have them fight sharp. So if they got in the ring and they hadn't fought in a minute, it won't seem like it. It'd be like seem like they just recently fought.
Carl Frampton, a respected analyst and former fighter, provided a blunt take on Pacquiao's comeback plans, calling the proposed Davis fight misguided. He emphasized the dangers returning veterans face, citing health risks and the potential to damage their legacy. It's a joke, really, Frampton said, offering a stark warning against the idea of legends risking too much.
Common sense, like being a world champion means you are the best in the world. You are the champion of this world at your weight class. We all know right now, at least to me, it's common knowledge, that's Jerome Boots Ennis. At 147, he is the best in the world. But he doesn't hold all 4 belts, so he is only one of the 2 or 3, I guess now, world champions. Doesn't make sense to me, and especially when now you're the WBC and you're like, yeah, let's bring in Manny Pacquiao to potentially win a world championship. And let's say he pulls it off by some miracle. Are we going to put Manny Pacquiao in there with Boots Ennis? Is that what we're going to do? I hope not. And again, this is not me trying to be a hater. It's just, I don't want to see Manny get hurt. And Barrios, you know, not the biggest puncher in the world, but he can hurt it badly. He is a volume puncher, and he will be in there against a guy. Even if he finished his career at 147, that's not where Manny was his best self. He's definitely going to be at a massive size disadvantage here. Height, reach, everything. Again, when Manny was in his prime, or, you know, honestly, when he was still in his late 30s and early 40s before he retired, he could have handled that. The speed was still there. The consistency was still there. He wasn't running for political office and doing all this other stuff and taking time off. We see this time and time again. When a boxer retires, takes a long time off, and then comes back, it usually, again, outside of George Foreman, rest in peace to the GOAT, it usually doesn't go well. And I don't think this is going to either. And it's clear to me that this is done for, you know, a staging of an event versus the actual competitive nature of the fight. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and that Manny still has it, but I'm just going to go with what makes the most sense. The WBC and whoever they partner with on this is going to try to sell tickets off of it. Okay, that's fine, but what's the point of the belt if this is the match? What are you saying?
Unlike recent high-profile exhibitions involving fighters like Mike Tyson or Jake Paul, which embraced entertainment over competition, Pacquiao's return appears far more serious. His goal isn't simply to put on a show. He aims to contend legitimately for championship titles, setting his path apart from others.
It's a joke, really. There's a thought. It's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen world champion kickboxers coming and sparring boxers. They can't box. They can kick, but they can't, and they can kick and box a little bit. They can't really box, and Manny didn't look great. I mean, yep, I don't know. The WBC, I think they have a lot of time for him, Richie O'Sullivan, but I think it's a mistake, really do, and they should be quite embarrassed.
One vocal critic of the proposed Davis versus Pacquiao matchup expressed strong disapproval, calling it 100% disrespectful. The critic described the idea as a clown fight, even more so than Tyson's exhibitions, and suggested that Mario Barrios should quit boxing if he loses to Pacquiao. You let Manny Pacquiao, an older man who stopped boxing, beat you in his first fight back? That's disrespectful to the championship, they argued.
It's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson. This is an outrage. People should be up in arms about this fight. This is so disrespectful. Barrios loses this fight, he should quit boxing. You let Manny Pacquiao, an old dude who stopped boxing, and then you're his first fight back? You are disrespectful as a champ.
Manny Pacquiao's scheduled bout with Mario Barrios, sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, marks a pivotal moment in boxing. This contest, rich with emotional and historical significance, offers Pacquiao the chance to reclaim a piece of his former glory and perhaps conclude his career on a victorious high note.
In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios, date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Yeah, massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and you know, it was so out of left field. You know, Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugas, and in that fight, 4 years.
The fight card for Pacquiao versus Barrios, set for August 3rd, 2025, promises a night of compelling matchups across multiple weight divisions. This event is not just centered on one headline bout, it's designed to deliver action from start to finish, appealing to both casual fans and die-hard boxing followers alike.
So the Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios card is announced, and it's pretty stacked. So opening up the card, it's Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Fierro 2. And this is a rematch of one of the best fights of the year so far. They originally fought on the Benavidez Morel undercard, and Cruz started off strong with his jab and walking Fierro down, but Fierro dug deep, drew out some great exchanges, so they decided to run it back. Then featured bout, Brandon Figueroa versus Joet Gonzalez. Figueroa, the former WBC champion at featherweight, but just lost his belt to Stephen Fulton. But these are now two top contenders at 126 pounds. Then co-main event, it's another fun rematch. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu 2. The last time it was a bloody war, and Tszyu walking forward, got elbowed and got cut open, but still had some great exchanges. Fundora landed some nasty uppercuts, and they're running it back for Fundora's title this time. And then the main event, Manny Pacquiao makes his return to challenge Mario Barrios for his WBC welterweight title. Pacquiao trying to break his own record as the oldest welterweight champion. Barrios gets the biggest fight of his career so far. You know, 4 really good fights on these cards, and they should all be action-packed.
Pacquiao's return has been guided by his legendary coach Freddie Roach, reigniting one of the most successful fighter-trainer partnerships in boxing history. Their training has focused on cardiovascular endurance, agility, and technical sharpness, an approach that recalls the disciplined preparation of Pacquiao's prime years. Observers have noted that Pacquiao's physical condition during training defies expectations for a man nearing 50. His movement remains fast and precise, and the intensity of his workouts signals a refusal to rely on reputation alone. Pacquiao's preparation reflects a serious mindset, showing he's not treating this comeback as a novelty.
Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao. The fight between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios is now official. July 19th. On pay-per-view in Las Vegas. We saw video this week, Sergio, of Manny Pacquiao back at Wildcard, like he's never left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old, going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going in?
No, I don't have concerns. And just a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing eye need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed in front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao's not going to have zero legs. There's a man that made a career.
A victory over Mario Barrios would catapult Pacquiao back into the boxing spotlight and potentially position him as a reigning champion once again. Such an outcome would lay the foundation for a blockbuster clash with Gervonta Davisa fight fans around the globe have anticipated for years.
Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight. And of course, we understand Pacquiao has moved up. My God, I don't even know when he first turned pro. You would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean, he was that
108 pounds.
Round. You could move around. Navigate a little bit. Say this, say that. But there comes to a certain point with everything that no matter how much you move the furniture around, you still know what room you're in. You still know what room. You can't fool yourself. And he's in a room where he's 46 years old with 72 fights. I rest my case, counselor.
Yeah.
This prospective matchup blends many themes: past glory versus future promise, experience versus youth, and legacy versus ambition. It also underscores the intersection of business and sport. Pacquiao's return is about more than one final triumph. It's about personal fulfillment and professional legacy. For Davis, it's a proving ground to establish dominance against one of the all-time greats.
Pacquiao's fighting Mario Barrios for a welterweight championship. And he's 46 years old. I did a whole video about how I think this is really sad, because Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting at 46 years old, because, brain injuries. But if he wins, that can make the welterweight division crazy. If you don't know, the welterweight division has been historically a great one in boxing, but lately has been pretty dead. Boots Ennis is the best guy in it, and one of the reasons you may not have heard of him is because there's no one else for him to really fight in that division, so he just dominates it. Everyone's been talking about how there hasn't been big names in the welterweight division, but now it's getting stacked with big names. Not necessarily the best fighters, but big names that are fun. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao. This division is getting absolutely insane, and Boots Ennis has a chance to run through it. Because honestly, I don't think any of those guys are better than him, and he will get the credit he deserves. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know.
Together, Manny Pacquiao and Gervonta Davis represent two eras of boxing. A fight between them would not only captivate fans worldwide, but also reignite debates around age safety merit and commercialism in combat sports. If it happens, it would be more than a clash of fists. It would be a defining moment in the history of the sport.
Yes.
You got Manny winning?
No. Against Barrios?
Yeah.
No, I think, look, every great fighter got one great fight left in him. That had to be Thurman. And Manny, I think Manny seems to want to, Manny appears to be like how Bernard and Roy were. Like, he's really one of those great old school fighters where you gotta he's gotta go out on his shield. Yeah. Going out on your shield used to not mean just in any given fight. It used to mean that's how they went out, period, fighters. And Manny's like that.
I do not want to see.
It's
really hard to see Manny Pacquiao losing to Mario Barrios because of who they are, but who they are now, you know?
Sean, I do not want to see like Manny on the knee, mouthpiece out. That's gonna hurt me.
Kevin McBride, Mike Tyson.
That's gonna hurt me.